The Fighting Illini now
Channel
just
20 Sports Desk, sponsored by Route 66 Solar.
Well, my mic was on. I thought maybe I should be talking. All right, the Fighting Illini now just a few hours away from making their first appearance in the 2025 NCAA tournament.
Yes, the team seeded 6th in the Midwest Regional, playing 11-seeded Xavier. News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us live from U of I as students are getting ready to support them. Hi.
Hey, Don and Stacy, when Illinois makes the NCAA tournament, the local economy is going to feel it. The State Farm Center that hosts the Illinois basketball games, they are not holding a watch party. Many U of I students are on spring break, but there's still plenty of locals who are going to be going out to Champaign restaurants for drinks and food. I spoke to one establishment, Huber's. They call themselves the local neighborhood bar, but it could get rowdy tonight. An 8:45 game to supplement the live music that plays in the corner. They told me an extra bartender was called on to meet the demand for its loyal customers. And I also spoke to some restaurants like Billy Baroo's. It's an establishment. They told me they've seen some groups already book reservations in anticipation of this NCAA tournament event. And I did speak to one person who was here at Billy Baroo's enjoying a drink and watching the NCAA tournament. I asked him, who's going to win it? Who did you have winning the national title in his bracket? He told me Illinois over Florida. I love the confidence. We'll see if that happens. But he did tell me if they keep winning, he's going to keep going to restaurants and buy more food and more drinks around Champaign. In Champaign, I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Yeah, he's definitely confident. Thanks, Carson. All right, we're going to be checking back in with him at the U of I a little later tonight during News Channel 20 at 6. Good evening. Thanks for joining us in tonight's top story. The countdown is on.
It certainly is. The Fighting Illini men's basketball team now just about 2.5 hours from taking the court in round 1 of the NCAA tournament against Xavier.
Yes, the U of I campus and community definitely excited. That's where, of course, we find another excited alum. News Channel 20's Carson Gordy. Hey, Carson.
When Illinois officially made the NCAA tournament, that made it 5 straight years, something that Illinois head coach Brad Underwood said he wouldn't take for granted. And also the local economy, they're not taking it for granted either. Even with U of I students off for spring break, restaurants and bars expecting local fans to go out, with the basketball team playing on the sport's biggest stage tonight. Huber's, they call themselves that local neighborhood bar. And they were already expecting a decent crowd because of their usual live music. Illinois Xavier game puts that crowd on steroids. They even brought in an extra bartender for tonight.
If it was a 4 o'clock game, it'd be packed right now. Ball game's at 8:45. Hopefully it's over by 11. That's when we close, but they'll probably stay open if it's not. So.
And right now I'm at Billy Baroo's Bar and Pub. They got a ton of Big Ten flags up, and I already saw multiple tables filled with college basketball fans. The manager told me they've seen reservations in anticipation of the NCAA tournament, and I spoke to one Illinois fan. He was enjoying a nice cold beverage and watching other tournament games. He's confident Illinois wins tonight, and then also 5 other nights.
How far did you take Illinois in your tournament bracket?
All the way. Got
Seriously?
All the way, seriously. No, just seeing like all these teams from all across the country, you know, just, I mean, anyone can really win it. So I think it's pretty exciting just to see these upsets and, just schools coming together.
I love that guy's confidence, and he also told me if Illinois keeps winning, he's going to continue to go out and spend money at those local bars and restaurants to get drinks and food. But tonight could also be a tough matchup. Xavier, very old. They shoot the 3-point shot very well, but Illinois, they are a 4-point favorite. So if they're able to get by the Musketeers, they got a matchup lined up with Kentucky Wildcats, and I can assure you, I don't think local restaurants are going to say no to that business of 2 powerhouses battling for a Sweet 16 spot. In Champaign, I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Carson. Of course, we're going to be keeping tabs on the Fighting Illini as they take on Xavier.
Now, the News Channel 20 Sports Desk, sponsored by Route 66 Solar.
It's game day for the Illinois men. They open up their NCAA tournament journey in just a few hours up in Milwaukee against Xavier. It's the 5th straight NCAA tournament appearance, and the Illini, they're starting their journey and their push for what would be consecutive Elite 8 appearances. Now, this team, more so than last year, is very young. One of the doubts over what has been an inconsistent Illinois team this year. They have the talent to beat anyone or lose to anyone. So this iteration of Illinois is going to have to rely on their vets like Kylan Boswell for leadership as they take on this year's tourney.
Scout, the details, and your effort matter, especially playing against Xavier, who's an older team, and we're really, really young. having mistakes or missed shots, you can't affect your energy at all times because they're going to capitalize on that. They won't those type of mistakes with their effort and energy. So for us, I think my vocal point was making sure our effort and energy is in the right mindset going into this game.
Now, yesterday we discussed Illinois and Xavier's season stats. This time we look at the resumes that got them into the tournament. Statistically, these teams are very close, but their resumes not so much. Illinois top 20 in net and KenPom, two highly used ranking systems, and strength of schedule as well for Illinois being a major advantage with them in the Big Ten. But the most glaring for me, it's quad one record. You look at Illinois, 18 games and an 8-10 record, and then Xavier, 10 games total, but just a 1-9 record. So Illinois, despite some statistical disadvantages like three-point shooting, they've been tested far more than Xavier this year. It's why they're a 6th seed and why they should probably advance tonight. So of course, later on tonight, we will have Illinois men's basketball updates and an update on Lincoln Land over in Joplin, and we'll look towards the women tomorrow. But for now, that does it for sports. I'm Sammy St. Jean.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dawn Sterling. Illinois men's basketball in action tonight. They're taking on Xavier in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And our Carson Gordy joins us live from a watch party in Champaign tonight. Hey Carson, what's the atmosphere like over there?
Right now we're feeling pretty good. Illinois up 40-35. They are halfway from advancing to the round of 32, but they got to take care of business. But just big picture, when Illinois made their 5th consecutive NCAA tournament, Brad Underwood said it's something that he doesn't take for granted in the local economy. They're on the same page. Right now we're at Bill Baroo's. This is an establishment restaurant in Champaign, but we also checked out other restaurants. Huber's, a small bar, and they're excited for a bigger crowd and even brought in another bartender to help serve its loyal customers. We've been seeing phenomenal food kicked up, and if Illinois keeps winning, local residents and eventually college kids when they return from spring break will flock to local restaurants and spend money on their game days.
Definitely, yeah. Like I said, like just the whole fan base, the community all comes together with sports like this, and like especially in the March Madness. I feel like they know it's a huge game, so they'll always be supported.
Illinois is 20 minutes away from securing a victory if the offense keeps up to pace. They're making a bunch of three-point shots. Xavier, though, also being feisty, making 17 out of 14 threes. Illinois, though, cleaning up on the rebounding, and they're hoping that their size can advance them to the round of 32 against Kentucky on Sunday. And the Illinois women's basketball team also making the NCAA tournament, just their 2nd appearance since 2003. The group made it last year, or 2 years ago, but they're hoping to win a game in the NCAA tournament on Saturday. They'll be taking on the 9-seed Creighton with a matchup against number 1 Texas on the line.
I think the difference, I think that first year we were just excited to be in the tournament. You know, we hadn't been there in 20 years. So I think that year we were all just excited to make it, and that was the goal. But I think this year it was more of like we deserve to be in it, and now we want to be, you know, we can focus more on the seeding, who we're playing, where we are.
A back-to-back round of 32 appearances for the first time in around 5 years. I'm Carson Gordy in Champaign. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Carson. We'll be pulling for Illinois to hang on and advance to the round of 32. Make sure you send us your photos from the game. We'd love to feature them in our newscasts. And here are what some people are saying on social media about the game. A lot of fans showing their support. And of course, we see a lot of hate for the refs. I'm sure they're making those perfect calls, though. Fans hopeful of the Illini, and so are we at the station, hoping they continue to go forward. Coming up later in sports, our Sammy St. Jean will provide a game update for the men and a preview of the Illinois women action. They'll be in action tomorrow.
Now, the News Channel 20 Sports Desk, sponsored by Route 66 Solar.
Now we've got the Illini well underway. We'll start sports with the Illinois men, preview the women's game tomorrow, as well as a little high school all-star action from Jacksonville today. But of course, we begin with the Illini, their game in the second half now. We can't run game highlights until after the game's conclusion, so just an update here as there's still plenty of time left in the game. Last update coming here from 13:55 left in the second half. Illinois shooting very well, 50% from the field, out-rebounding Xavier as well by quite a margin, but they're keeping them in the game with the turnovers, 12 of them so far to just 3 for Xavier. And the Illinois women entered their 10th ever NCAA tournament, looking to win their first game since 2000. And they take on Creighton. Creighton, a similar strength from the field and the free throw line to Illinois. Both teams top 10 in the country in hitting the free throws. Illinois might have to win it on the glass. Creighton typically loses the battle on the glass, so that'll be something to watch with that game tipping at 6:15 tomorrow. And tonight, Jacksonville and the JHS Bowl hosted the County Financial Boys Basketball All-Star Game tonight. A three-point competition, a dunk contest, and the North versus South All-Star Game to raise money. And there were plenty of local standouts on display tonight, like Auburn's Cooper Carter and Port AC's Drew Marr, both of whom loved the chance to play in the game with their teammates and a few familiar foes from the regular season.
We had a great season, and it means a lot to us. We got 3 guys here that all played great, and winning gets you to stuff like this. Getting to play with guys you don't normally get to play with, you know, like Drew Marr. I get to play with him. Didn't get to really play with him. Kind of ate us up in conference, but you know, it's all right.
It's fun playing with them. It's even more fun watching them play and like competing with them. So it's just been really fun practicing and playing with these guys.
We also have a first-time All-Star game, a boys and girls South Central versus Sangamo All-Star game coming next Sunday to close out winter and basketball season. Both Carter and Marr talked about their invites to the first-ever conference crossover event.
I'm honored to be selected to it, and I'm excited to play because these guys are just real fun to play with, real good people, and will be even greater teammates.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, get to play with everybody in your conference, going against a pretty good conference.
Now, the Loggers were also victorious today down in Joplin. A disappointing quarterfinal result redeemed a bit as they beat Union by 37. 3 players in double figures. Megan Harrell had 21, a double-double, and Sam Lindhorst added 16, while Alexis Wade also had 13. They take on Lakeland in the 5th-place game tomorrow at 3 p.m. And tomorrow in sports, of course, we have the Illinois men's basketball wrap-up with how late this game is concluding, and Illinois women, they're in action tomorrow. Again, that one at 6:15 tomorrow night. But for now, that does it for sports. I'm Sammy St. Jean.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to watch more videos from News Channel 20.